Hi, boys and girls. Here we are back again. I am going to read you a book that we read earlier this week, and I want to see if you remember it. Listen carefully, and I want to hear you be an excellent listener. This book is called Back to School. We're back to school, aren't we? And this is a real book with real photographs. Someone took pictures and it shows how children go to school all over the world. So as we read, we're going to stop to talk about the pictures. Back to School by Maya Ajmera and John D. Ivanko. Look at the children in this picture. Their uniforms look pretty different than yours, but they're wearing school uniforms. But they're children just like you. In this school, the children are sitting on the floor, crisscross applesauce, and they are holding their books in their lap. But look at them. They're all looking at their teacher, making great eye contact. Going to school means learning about the world around you. These children in this picture are visiting an art museum in Mexico. And those little words under the picture are called a caption. And a caption is a sentence or some words that tell more about the picture. So these kids are on a field trip to an art museum in Mexico, sharing a book in Pakistan. So look, the kids in this picture are dressed a little different. Sketching a standing stone in the United Kingdom. So these kids are outside drawing pictures, maybe having art class outside. We don't have stones like that here in Indianapolis, do we? There are many kinds of schools. Taking notes in Australia. So these kids are in a classroom in desks like you do, but they're not wearing uniforms. Having a class outside in Mali. Is our school outdoors? Do we spend the whole day outside learning? These kids do. Attending night school in India. Well, look at these kids. They're going to school at night by the light of a lantern, and they're using little chalkboards, kind of like our dry erase boards. The lantern is their only light. And these children are being homeschooled in France. So they do all their learning at home and they do their work at home, kind of like you do on e-learning days, but that's every day for them. And lots of ways to get to them. These kids are riding a horse-drawn wagon in Bolivia to go to school. Do you go to school in a horse-drawn wagon? No, we don't get to school that way. Climbing onto a school bus in the United States. Lots of kids go to school on a school bus here in the United States. We don't, but lots do. And maybe you even have an older brother or sister who takes the bus to Ritter. And the words on this bus say school bus. Traveling by boat in Peru. Do you take a boat to get to school at St. Anthony? No, we don't do that, but in Peru they do. Squeezing into a rickshaw in the Philippines. Some kids squeeze onto a bike-drawn rickshaw to get to school. We don't do that either. We might walk, but we don't ride a rickshaw to school here in Indiana. You might wear a uniform or your favorite outfit. Do we wear uniforms at St. Anthony's School? Yes, we do. Lining up for class in South Africa, they wear uniforms. Listening to the teacher in Thailand, they're wearing uniforms. Walking to school with a friend in France. I don't think those are uniforms. Or creating an art project in Belgium. No, those aren't uniforms either. Some schools have uniforms and some schools don't. When you are at school, you learn to read and write. Do we learn to read and write at St. Anthony's School? Yes, we are learning to read and write here, especially here in first grade. So in this picture, they're forming words on a slate in Bangladesh. A slate is like a dry erase board, but you use chalk. Writing a story in Niger. And this kid is studying the alphabet in Rwanda. They have an alphabet chart there. And writing on the chalkboard in Saudi Arabia. Different schools all around the world, but they work and learn in all of them just like we do. They're learning to count and experiment. So they're adding numbers in Algeria. They're doing their math, conducting lab experiments in Mexico. And these kids are counting with number cubes. In Rwanda, we'll be doing some counting with number cubes soon. School is for discovering science and geography and language. And here they are looking at an atlas in the United States. An atlas is a book of maps. And researching a science project in Trinidad and Tobago. They're on the computer. We do that here. Listening to a language tape in China. And hearing new words in Russia. Sometimes kids have headphones on here too. And for developing physical fitness and artistic talent. These kids are exercising in the schoolyard in Iraq. They're having gym. Drawing a picture in Bhutan. He's having art. And practicing the violin in South Korea. They're having music class. At school, you take field trips and join teams and clubs. So this child is looking into a microscope at a science museum in the United States. And these children are climbing on top of cannons at a fort in Cuba. And these kids are gathering for a club meeting in Syria. And here they're getting ready for a rugby match in New Zealand. Rugby is a sport like soccer. When you are a student, you learn from many different people. These children are gathering around the teacher in the United States, receiving help on homework in Bangladesh, learning sign language in South Africa, getting together for group work in Nepal. Here at St. Anthony's School, you learn from many different people too. You have gym with Mr. Weaver. You have Spanish with Miss Alma, music with Mrs. Meyer, art with Mr. Scott. And also your parents work with you on e-learning days, or maybe your big brothers and sisters work with you on e-learning. You work hard on your lessons, jotting down ideas in China, taking notes in South Africa, working in the computer lab in Israel, and learning to print in Nepal. So we write, we work on computers, and might even write on the board here in St. Anthony's School. We enjoy new challenges. They're choosing books in the school library in the United States, climbing rope ladders in the gymnasium in Russia. These children are telling jokes in Bhutan, and they're sharing comic books during recess in France. Going to school is loads of fun. They're answering questions in Iraq, playing a board game in Canada, and goofing around after school in the Dominican Republic. And that is the end, my friends. I will see you on the next video. Did you enjoy this story? Did you learn about different ways children go to school? I hope so. Bye.